Hi guys, so author Catrina Davies appeared on the BBC where she spoke about the disaster that is unfolding as a consequence of people who lied to the public over Brexit, ignored concerns from experts and people who had a deeper understanding than they did of the complexities of peace in Northern Ireland or how international trade works or how the single market operates. She said that the Tories who delivered Brexit need to own it. Have a listen.
I think the reason that there are so many problems now is that Boris Johnson was lying when he said he had an oven-ready Brexit deal. I think everybody was lying who was arguing that when we went for Brexit that there weren't going to be massive problems with the Good Friday Agreement. Everybody who was against Brexit was arguing that that was going to be one of the biggest problems with Brexit. And it's very surreal now to be listening to these people who argued for this thing that we did, who signed this deal, who presumably negotiated this deal, who presumably, we hope, read this deal, now arguing as if they're us on the other side of it against themselves.
Ooh, that's a wonderful take. I love this. The idea that, yes, that Boris Johnson, Lord Frost and others seem like Remainers who are saying this is a bad idea. But in reality, they're the ones who delivered it. Boris Johnson and Lord Frost, the ones who delivered the withdrawal agreement, which contains the protocol, are the people arguing against it now, saying it's not going to work, that it's a disaster, that it's not fit for purpose. It is surreal.
I just think they need to own it. They've messed it up. They've caused this massive problem, and they don't know how to solve it. And it's time for a new government, frankly.
I'm conscious you use the word lie, and I'm always conscious on this programme about specifically what that word means, which is to willfully mislead, as opposed to say something that turns out to be rubbish. So I'll just enter that thought into the conversation.
So either he's lying or he's stupid.
But there's
It's either Boris Johnson is lying or Lord Frost is lying or they're stupid. And maybe it's a bit of both here. They are lying and they don't understand what they signed up to. And I've talked about this before, and even Jacob Rees-Mogg talked about it as well recently when he said that there was a time limit. Now, of course, he didn't tell the truth here when he said he didn't actually explain why there was a time limit. There was a time limit put in place by Boris Johnson, and he did it for political reasons. He wanted to sell the public the idea of getting Brexit off the table. Eventually, he came up with his Get Brexit Done slogan. But the idea was, we're going to be the party that will get Brexit off the table. Stop talking about Brexit. Vote for us and we won't be talking about Brexit anymore. Obviously that was a lie, or he didn't understand what he was talking about. But it was him that put this arbitrary time limit on the negotiations. The EU did not say this. The EU said, look, if you want to negotiate for the next number of years, that's okay. We don't have a problem with that. We can extend the negotiations. But Boris Johnson and the Brexiteers said, no, we want to be out as soon as possible and we'll agree to pretty much anything if it means it's getting out.
There's a broader point here, isn't there? There's a broader point, which is that the UK voted for Brexit and then it voted for a government with a whacking great majority to deliver Brexit. And that's what the Prime Minister promised to do, and that's what he's done.
But you realise we have first past the post, which means actually only 40-something% voted for this government. So actually the majority of the country didn't vote for it.
The problem with this argument that, well, Boris Johnson was elected, Brexit was sold on a lie. And, we have the proof of that. We have Brexiteers on one side saying there's no one is arguing about leaving the single market. For example, Daniel Hannan, who's now a member of the House of Lords. And others were saying, yes, we're going to leave the single market. Of course we're going to leave the single market. You had Farage selling ideas, and Farage, of course, being the loudest cheerleader of Brexit. We can be like Switzerland, we can be like Norway. No, who wants to be like Switzerland? Who wants to be like Norway? So people didn't know what they were voting for. There were obvious lies being peddled by Brexiteers like Boris Johnson, Jacob Rees-Mogg, Nigel Farage and others. And the fact that Boris Johnson won a majority, and that's a justification for him to deliver Brexit. The whole idea of 2019's election victory was getting Brexit done. I'm going to get it done, get it off the table. We won't be talking about it anymore. That was in 2019. We're in 2022 now, and we're still talking about Brexit, and Brexit is not done. Brexit may never be done. That's the problem with this. This is going to go on for years, until Johnson is out, until a new government is formed that considers rejoining the single market and the customs union or rejoining the European Union. Then Brexit will be done. So we're still talking about a number of years here. So Boris Johnson, yeah, he won a majority, but it was based on lies. Brexiteers won the referendum, but that was based on lies too. Shouldn't democracy be based on truth? Or at least attempts to remain as truthful as possible? Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.